Hello, welcome to the queue. It is Operation 43rd Wessex, and it is Japan turn 7, and this is the first live turn. We've filmed all the previous turns in private and just uploaded them. So to catch this game from the beginning, go to a playlist. I've got one. Global War 36 Enthusiast has one, and you can watch from the first turn onward. So Japan Tech has a 7 for improved construction and an 8 for large ship. And again, the dice are on the other side of the table. All right, so 7 is the red dice. Well, we got an 11 and a 6. So we got 1. Improved construction goes up to 3. All right, that's the good news. We're heading on to the finish line with that one. For their purchase, we've got a transport, 2 militia upgrades, 5 militia, 3 infantry, 1 marine. There's the 4th infantry, and that's going in rehe. And let's move on to some combat, which we have combat because, we're at war now. Not with a major power, but we're picking on some of the little guys. Now we're going to pick on the Dutch East Indies here. So let me move the dice tray over here till we get going. And I will set this down and widen it up. That's a zoom in. All right, so what we have going here. First move is our seaplane coming out of Siam. 1, 2 will go on map and be the screening force for that coastal sub. That'll allow us to sink the transport on its own. Actually, that's our coastal sub. We're not going to attack our coastal sub. We're going to attack the Dutch coastal sub. Big difference. This coastal sub will come down 1 to P61. All right, so now that'll allow this ship to come through, the torpedo boat destroyer, 1, 2. This torpedo boat destroyer will come 1, and that will be the ship that destroys this on an auto kill, the Dutch transport. All right, so we'll take it off the map. All right, next up, we've got a sub from P50. 1, 2, he'll come into there. Let's look at some long range. We've got a light cruiser, comes over 1, 2, what's the do? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how we got there. All right, and last but not least, we got a heavy cruiser coming out of Kwangtung, 1, 2, 3. So that will be our force attacking the destroyer. We'll roll a dice for that sub, and in the chat I'll ask if the allies would like that sub to just submerge or stay in combat. So you want to stay in, or you want to submerge to survive it. That's kind of my thought there. And I think that's all I'm adding to that. We'll see when we get finished here what we got. All right, so let's go with our units over here. We've got 1 destroyer with a marine, comes up to P52, walks on to New Guinea. We got a 2nd destroyer from P62, comes over to P60 with a marine, and that is a walk on to Lesser Sundays, I think. That one I may skip. We'll see how I lay this out. I've got a transport in P62, which comes over to P60, and it drops 1 off in Celebes and 1 off in Borneo. All right, so that's that. That's that transport. That's that destroyer. All right, so we've got 2 transports coming here into P59. This transport grabs an infantry and then from Formosa, and from Kwangtung a marine, 1, 2. And they will go into Java. I'll put them on the south side here. Or we're going to drop the infantry off on the north side. That's what we're doing. All right, so now I've got this transport, grabs the Marine and the artillery from Siam, comes over 1, drops those off in Java. And last but not least, this destroyer here in P41 grabs a Marine from Kwangtung, 1, 2, and he's in that sea zone, and drops him off on Java. All right. This transport or destroyer will stay put. So we'll take that marker off. Escort duty, we're going to bring this light cruiser 1, 2, 3 goes on escort duty. The destroyer prevents any shenanigans with the subs. Well, just the one sub. This sub will be out of supply, so it'll only be able to move 2 on the end of its turn. So that will be the end of that. We can also bring over this sub here from P46, 1, 2, 3, just in case. All right, so that leaves, that's a non-com. Oh, this transport up here grabs a Marine and infantry from Kyushu, 1, 2, 3 into P50, and they go into Sumatra, the infantry Marine. All right, so that's it for that. That's it for that. This one's a non-com. This fighter goes 1, 2 into Sumatra. We've got a fighter here from the carrier in P62, 1, 2 into Borneo. The 2 tacticals, 1, 2, 3. They have 1 left. Our carrier will come in here to catch them. Let's throw in some bombards now. This battleship from P46, 1, 2, 3 into P60 will bombard Borneo. I'll put that like that. Battleship, battle cruiser will come over 1, 2, and they'll bombard into Java, and they'll be in, I can't see that one, P59, I think. I can't find it anywhere. There it is, P59. All right. All right, all right, all right. Is that it? All right, so we're going to leave that Marine on there. So I think we got our bases covered unless dice go horribly wrong. And that has happened before. All right, let's roll some dice. No attacks in China, just be some non-coms. Maybe I need to move this dice tray up like this. All right. So first battle, we'll just work here from Sumatra, work our way over. We've got an infantry Marine at 2 and a fighter at 6. There's 3, so we only need 1 hit because there's just 1 militia there. All right, so the militia returns fire, 10. Perfect. All right, 1 battle down. Next into Borneo, we do have a battleship bombard. I haven't hit a first strike all game. We've got 2 Marines and a fighter there as well. Fighter hits. All right, Borneo is just a militia. All right, so far so good. But none of these are the battles I'm worried about. Oh, I guess technically we had to do this seaplane first. And it's at a 3. It misses, so that Dutch coastal submerges. That allows everything else to happen. All right, next we have Java. Well, that's it. Java's the last one. We have a bombard of a battleship and a battle cruiser. The battleship will be the yellow dice, and the battle cruiser gets a hit. Good news. So let's take off. I'll put those into P59. All right. So 1 militia goes away. It's our first strike hit of the game. That's nice. Oh, I got to remember we got this naval battle too, but it doesn't play into any of this. All right, so now I've got the artillery can't come on the first round. Java, I think, is mountainous. Yeah, that looks mountainous. So those are 3 at 1. We'll roll those. Almost. Almost. And then I got 2 at 7. 2 hits. All right. So they are down to 1 infantry. They get 1 militia, 2 infantry, and they defend at 2 and 4, and 9s don't get it. So, so far so good. Now the artillery comes in and boosts 1 of the infantry. 2 infantry at 1. Infantry, artillery at 2s. 2 tacticals at 7. 2 hits. So my tacticals are doing really well this game. All right, that is it. Java Falls with no casualties. So far, so good. The naval battle here, we're going to roll. Well, we got 2 2s. We'll roll those for the coastal sub, coastal defense, or torpedo boat destroyer. We've got a 3 for the sub. We got a 5 for the light cruiser, which hits, and a 6. Oh, misses. Oh, well, if they would have chose to stay in the battle, they would have get us around 2. No, they wouldn't, because, well, they could if they took that sub as a casualty, but we'll see what their decision is. Destroyer at a 4. Misses. So here's the what if the sub stays in roll, and it would hit. So the decision would be you would probably lose that and go to round 2, and then I would lose a coastal sub. So let's roll round 2 as if it happens. So we have a 2 for the torpedo boat destroyer, which hits. All right. And then the destroyer would roll back at a 4 and would miss. So that's how that... if it's just 1 round, this sub survives. But if they chose to engage, then there's no survivors, and Japan loses still just the coastal submarine. So I'll leave those like that, and we'll get an answer in the chat beforehand, before I release the video, so they can make that decision going forward. All right, so let's do income here. I think it's 9. So there's 1, 2, 3. So yeah, it is 9 because these are all 2s. All right, so that means that we go up to 39. And Britain goes nowhere because we're not at war with Britain. But they do get to control what's left of the Netherlands up there. All right, so let's land our aircraft. So what I think we'll do is take our fleet carrier. Well, our fleet carrier has to come here because Java has to be the 2 tactical bombers, because they only have a movement of 1 left. All right, so this one has 2, so we could actually bring this 1, 2, 3 into P50 and land on the carrier, and we would go 1, 2. Seaplane just goes back to Siam. Fighter goes back to Siam. That is our landing units. And all right. That's what it's going to be. All right. So we're going to fly this medium bomber from Tokyo to Nanking. Or are we? Is that where we want that? No, it was Beiping. Beiping. All right. We've got 1 infantry from Hope rails down to Kwangtung. 1 infantry from Hope walks up to Suyan. All right, so we've got our anti-aircraft gun, which we'll leave. I believe we'll walk our infantry from Korea to reheat, drive our motorized from Manchuria to Korea. Our cavalry will stay put. All right, so torpedo boat destroyer, I guess we leave him there. We've got this transport, 1, 2, goes in port in Kyushu. And I believe that's all we got. Okay, yeah, we're good. Let's go grab some goodies and place them out on the table. All right, so we'll start up there. So I'll leave the camera up there. And got the militia. Everything pretty much goes north. So in Kyushu will be 3 infantry, 1 marine, and in port we'll build, or in the shipyard we'll build the import, the transport. All right, so 1 transport's in port, 1's in the shipyard, major shipyard. So now we've got 1 infantry we're building in Rihe, and we've got 2 upgrades, and they will be down south. We're going to upgrade a militia in Kwangtung. We're going to upgrade a militia in Hunan. All right, so now I've got 5 militia to place. 1 in Hunan, or Kwangtung, 1 in Hunan, 1 in Western Manchuria, 1 in Korea, and 1 in Suyan. The only difference here is I don't know if I want that bomber by itself, so we'll move the bomber over to Rihe. Because I had planned on putting a militia there, but I did some different maneuvers here. All right, so that is it. We'll do a recap here at the end. Let's look at their cash. I need to bring the dice tray because U.S. gets an income increase. Set those militia down. They get 2 dice. 8 and a 2. Perfect. 10. So they'll go up to 36. Oh, they get to move. Bummer. That means their ships will escape the Philippines, maybe, if they remember. All right, so we no longer have the U.S. oil, so we can get rid of that marker. We are now up to 39. So that'll be, well, let's just do a 10. There's 35 and 4. 39 plus 6. 45 for next turn. And next turn we'll get back on that factory output there. All right, that is the cash. That is the U.S. income increase. And it is time to recap and get out of here. Put that in the tray. All right, so in P61, we're going to have a torpedo boat destroyer, submarine, heavy cruiser, light cruiser. Lesser Sunda is a marine. Celebes is a marine. New Guinea is a marine. Borneo is a marine and an infantry. P60 is a battleship, transport, and a destroyer. P59 is torpedo boat destroyer, battle cruiser, battleship, fleet carrier, 2 tacticals, 2 transports. Java is 3 marines, 1 artillery. Sumatra marine infantry, I-12 sub, P50 sub, light cruiser on escort, and a destroyer, light carrier fighter, and last but not least, a transport. Siam. Oh, wait a minute. Siam's where I wanted that upgrade. Where did I do that upgrade? I did it in Hunan. Doggone it. That's probably fine. We'll leave it as is. All right, Siam is a seaplane fighter militia. Import in Kwangtung is 3 cruisers. There is in Kwangtung a militia, 2, 4, 6, 7 infantry, 1 mountain, 1 marine. Hunan is an infantry militia, Shangtung militia. Yeah, that's why I changed things in Beiping. I remember. All right. Suyan militia, 3 artillery, 3 infantry, 1 mountain, 1 cavalry. Rihe, 2 infantry, 1 AA, 1 cavalry, 1 bomber. Korea is 2 fighters, tactical, a motorized, and a militia. Northern Manchuria militia, Western Manchuria militia. Sakhalin still a militia. Tokyo is empty. That's interesting. Let's not do that. So let's take 2 infantry into Tokyo, and we'll build the one we built in the shipyard. We'll build in the Tokyo shipyards. And this is an infantry. We'll trade that ship out here in Suyan. All right. Now we look better. All right. Tokyo, 2 infantry, transport and port. P-16 has a torpedo boat destroyer. Kyushu has a marine, infantry, and a transport and port. And then there's the militias out on the outer rim there. Or coastal defense, or coastal submarine did not move. He'll stay put. Nah, he'll come down 1 to P-73. All right, that's it for the Japan turn. Next up will be Britain and the Commonwealth and the remaining French ships.